G'day boys and girls, welcome back to MotorShare. I'm Joe.
And I'm Chris, and today we're going to give you a shakedown of a 2016 Porsche Cayman GT4 981.
Is it the perfect Porsche?
Well, you have to stay tuned to find out. Now, before we give you a rundown of the exterior of this thing, how about I throw some numbers at you? 3.8 litre, naturally aspirated flat 6, pushing out 385 horsepower with 420 newton meters of torque. 0 to 100 in about 4.4 seconds. This thing revs up to 9k with a red line around 7,400 RPM, with a top speed of about 295 kilometers an hour. Not bad for a naturally aspirated flat 6, let me tell you. The GT4 has a mid-engine layout. It shares many key components with its big brother, the 911 GT3, sharing the chassis, things like the brakes, and has huge similarities with the interiors. So, let's walk around and show you the exterior of this car. First and foremost, you see this amazing color, which is a sapphire blue. In my opinion, the best color for a Porsche Cayman GT4. Porsche have done an absolutely amazing job in not only making this car look stunning, but hugely functional for track and everyday use. You can really tell that they've gone out of the way to ensure that this beast is ready for the track, with huge amounts of cooling throughout the front, including these side intakes. The GT4 side profile is absolutely stunning. Sleek lines with lovely side mirrors, huge side intake for extra cooling, and the massive wing on the rear, all with aerodynamic purpose in mind. A huge reason as to why I think this car looks so aesthetically pleasing are these massive multi-spoke 20-inch mags fitted with Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tyres on this particular car. Below this rear spoiler, you have this little ducktail lip. Really ties in nicely with the centrally exited exhaust and the rear diffuser. While we're at the back, why don't we check out the motor? That's right, in traditional Cayman fashion, you can't actually see it. Instead, you're presented with a huge amount of boot space, which is actually really rare in a sports car, especially one that's actually built for the track. Instead, you do have your coolant filler and your oil filler caps here if you need to top those up. Believe it or not, this isn't actually the only storage compartment you get. You've got your traditional frunk as well. Overall, I think it's a stunning looking car. Porsche do such a good job in not only making sure their cars are super functional, but look the part. Now, I'm gonna throw you over to Joe, and he's gonna run you through the interior.
All right, so let's talk about the interior. The first thing you'll notice in here is all the Alcantara. It's on the steering wheel, the door cards, the seats. Paired with the leather, it looks really nice. It makes this car feel really exotic. You can tell you're in a nice vehicle. All the red accents in here. There's super nice red stitching. And we all know red makes your car go faster. So paired with some red seat belts, even clicking those in is quick. No, truly, not just because they're red, but the door handles that they've included in here are lightweight fabric, which means weight reduction, making this thing faster around the track. When you buy one of these new, you do have the option to spec them out with some sport bucket seats. Our particular model has got these Sport GT seats. These Sport GT seats are super comfortable, and they actually offer a perfect amount of bolstering if you do want to feel a little bit tighter and hugged in for a spirited drive. But if you are a person with a bit of a bigger build, there's enough adjustment in here for you to find comfort. I don't think anyone will struggle to fit in here. They're super comfortable, adjustable to suit anyone. You're not missing out on cup holders. They're hidden away here above the glove box. And there's plenty of storage, like these little pockets for your phone or wallet in the side of the door. One of the most obvious features in the 981 is that they were all equipped with a 6-speed manual transmission. Moving down from the gear knob, you've got a flurry of different buttons that are going to change your driving experience. So first off, you can stiffen up your suspension, you can open the valves for your exhaust to make this puppy scream, and then there's sport mode, which will give you a more responsive throttle. And one of the coolest features is when you downshift, it's going to rev match for you. You've got your AC controls all in the middle here, and your infotainment systems. It's got everything you need, but it might be getting a little outdated at this stage. But one thing I do like is the instrument cluster in front of me. They've done a really great job with this. Right in the middle, you've got your rev gauge, which, let's be honest, when you're driving this thing around town or on the track, that's probably the only thing you care about. As well as a digital display on the right hand side, which is going to give you all the important information, like your temps and your oil pressure. And on the left hand side, you've got an analog speedometer. It looks really nice, the whole thing all together. Another added bonus is the car's got cruise control. Now, I think that's enough mumble jumble from us. Let's turn this key and take this thing out on the road. Man, this car is brilliant. This is exactly where it shines on these back windy roads here in New Zealand. This is where this thing was born to drive. Gliding through the corners, absolutely phenomenal. It just sticks to the road and goes exactly where you want it. And that's where I'll give this car a lot of credit. The steering is phenomenal, and you can place this thing exactly where you want it. Listen to that.
Right guys, finally behind the wheel of the GT4, and boy, I'm impressed so far. Just starting, as soon as you get in the car, the comfort of these seats through these windy roads really hold you nice and tightly, and this thing handles amazingly. Considering it's a rear-wheel drive car, it is extremely impressive. Now, Porsche are renowned for their excellence in building cars and their cars handling, especially the 911 that has the engine over the arse. But this thing, with its mid-engine configuration, is absolutely superb. And hear that auto blip on the downshift? That's because I've got the sport mode on here. Nice little feature, to be honest. And listen to it. Scream. I don't know whether this is a good thing or a bad thing. I haven't quite figured it out yet, but the gears are so long, like super, super long. You never have to change gears. You push this thing. I'm in fourth at the moment. I just never seem to get out of bloody fourth. It is, listen to it.
The amount of confidence this car gives me behind the wheel is just, yeah, I'm lost for words on it. The car fills me with absolute confidence that I can place it exactly where I want it, and you can feel everything. Yeah, everything's very mechanical. Switching gears feels nice. Putting your foot through the throttle feels brilliant. Even in the wet. I know these Cup 2 tyres aren't built exactly for wet weather, so when you do get a bit trigger happy and you kick the rear end out, you can put this car exactly where you want it, and it's not a problem. I mean, even driving through town, it's just fun for everything, but like I said, as soon as you get it out on these back roads or on a track, that's where this thing absolutely shines, and you can tell it's exactly what it was built for. Here we go, let's hear this thing. What a car! Now, one thing I do need to touch on is the gear ratio on this thing is quite long. When you are ducking and weaving through these roads, you never find yourself getting out of second or third gear. Here we go. Pulling out of this corner in second. I'm still in second, and third. So yeah, they are quite long gear ratios, but you're still going to have a lot of fun jumping between the gears. This thing just wants to be pushed. When you do want to put your foot down, it has absolutely no problem laying the power down on the road. Now, I'm in sport mode at the moment, so when I do downshift, it auto blips for me, and it's going to rev match just like that, making it super smooth. I'll always give credit where credit is due. Porsche have always done a phenomenal job with their transmission and gearboxes, and this is no exception. Yeah, that downshift is nice.
The handling of this thing is superb. Really, really is. It just sticks to the road, which again, being a rear-wheel drive car is super impressive, but that's not to say that you can't get the rear out of this car. You really can. If you push it to its limits, you can seriously have some good fun. Look how it just grips to the road, just so long in the gear. 7,500 RPM just seems so hard to get to. This thing isn't quite known for its speed in a straight line. Oh. But don't get me wrong, this thing can boogie. Listen to those auto blips. Absolutely incredible. The handling is immense. Second gear never ends, trust me, on these windy roads. Into third finally. It's not many times that I don't say anything, but this car truly leaves me speechless. It really, really does. It is truly something special. The noise it makes, your throttle response, your handling, the weight ratio, the way it screams with those exhaust valves open, the auto blip on the downshift. What else do you want? What else do you want for a car that, okay, is worth a little bit of money? It's well worth it. Well worth it. One of probably the best cars you'll ever drive, and certainly probably one of the best Porsches you'll ever drive.
Oh, I don't even think I need to touch on the noise of this thing. It just sounds so good. I think my smile says enough about, yeah, how I'm feeling behind the wheel of this thing. It's an absolutely brilliant car. Listen to that. And throwing it through this corner right now, here we go. It just sticks to the road, no problem at all. Oh, phenomenal. Now, all in all, a quick conclusion. While I'm still full of adrenaline and the smile I can't get off my face, how does this car make me feel? I mean, it's pretty obvious, isn't it? This thing's brilliant. This GT4 is just incredibly refined, and Porsche deserve all the credit that they've earned throughout the years. This car is the perfect example that you don't need 500-600 horsepower to have fun. It's all about that perfect balance of power to rate ratio, and they've just knocked it out the park with this vehicle.
There's a lot to like about this car. A lot to like. The fact that you can just use it for your everyday groceries, going to the gym, and then just throw it on the track. It speaks volumes of this car, to be honest. The build quality is super impressive. The way it drives, your throttle response, your handling, everything. It's so balanced. It's so bloody good. There's no other words to describe it. It is so good. And that's why there's so many people that truly prefer the Cayman GT4 over the 911 GT3, which really, really speaks volumes.
All right, Chris, we've both just been out in it. How was that?
My smile speaks volumes, doesn't it? Absolutely. I'm flabbergasted, I'm speechless. What a car. You're gonna stare at this thing all day. It's an absolute piece of art. Driving masterpiece, I should say. Just incredible.
Yeah, it's almost the perfect driving experience behind the wheel of this car. They've done such a good job balancing power, weight, throwing it through these windy roads is exactly where it wants to be. Brilliant car.
Yeah, I think in conclusion, value for money. I know these are getting expensive. They're quite hard to get your hands on now. But if you can, oh my God, what an absolute bundle of joy you'll have. You won't go wrong.
At least experience it.
100%. And with MotorShoe you can, by the way. Alrighty guys, well, Catch you on our next clip, and don't forget to like and subscribe.
See you guys next time.
Peace out.